Hey people, Intro here, 53, SDL Province, Blue Team. Couple of Space Marine players. We got Desked with a Force Commander. Very strong offense, fighting in melee combat, can also tank, disrupt and support. Some white scars here. IskNorthen is a Techmarine, starts off with a bolt gun, puts out some good damage, can also support with structures and repair. Weird looking colour scheme actually. Alongside, is that meant to be Iron Hands? Is it like a... Oh, it's a recolored Lunar Wolves thing. Alrighty. Alongside Machine Elf with a Warlock, a melee spellcaster that leaps into combat, some powerful disruption and support. Red Team, Adinosaurusrex is a Lictor Alpha, a melee specialist, infiltrate and disrupt, some powerful offense and a bit of support up against the Force Commander on the west side here. Alongside, Gomer Pyle is a Warboss getting stuck in already. Melee hero that walks through objects, very strong offense, disruption and support from the front lines. He's not happy about this Warlock messing with his boys. Let's see out this fight here. You see the Chaos Lord joining the fight. This is someone else, a durable and destructive hero walking through objects that cannot be suppressed with powerful offense and disruption, fighting in melee. Warboss and Chaos Lord shoulder to shoulder is a tough thing to push against. That Guardian died super hard. The Warlock did get away. Banshees on the prowl, but they are going to struggle to approach here with double shooters Daka and the Warboss with Stomp available. Not to mention Kill the Weak, of course, from the Chaos Lord. Some Corn Worship in the mid, +2 speed for all of someone else's units. Shotgun Scouts in play for IskNorthen. Guardians getting torn up by Bolter Fire and Shooter Fire. And some Heretic Auto Pistols, which I'm sure do barely any DPS, but they're trying, dang it. You're just happy they're not exploded. Banshees get themselves into all sorts of trouble here. Getting Doom Blasted, gonna get Doom Blasted on retreat as well, maybe even wiped out. Crazy attempt to push through from Machine Elf and loses the Banshees. Couldn't quite get the scouts there in time. I assume Machine Elf thought that IskNorthen was right behind them supporting, but they weren't. Desked going for double tactical marines, by the way. Adinosaurusrex with double Hormagaunts. So good usage of the Force Commander and his Battlecry are going to be important over there early on. And we might see a Thunderhammer tier 2 Mastercrafted bolters in play for the Techmarine. High DPS bolt gun with the high powered shot for a burst of damage and suppression. Almost 38 piercing DPS on this thing. There it is, this high powered shot. Might have killed a model if they targeted the right one, but you can't tell how much health each individual model has. Sluggers looking to approach. And they're going in. High powered shot on cooldown. Shuriken's going to set up though. Took a bunch of damage. Warboss gets in. Pops the Stomp. I don't think they needed to. Then does a special attack immediately. Techmarine gets duckered and leaves. Here's a rotation from desk to the mid. Nice grenade on retreat. Almost wipes out those shooter boys. Beautifully done. Force Commander hits level 2. Adinosaurusrex is waiting for them on the west side. Now has Barb Strangler Warrior Brood. These guys will provide a basic synapse to the Hormagaunts and the Termagants here, as well as the awesome Barb Strangler weapon upgrade, of course. Hormagaunts getting quite low in there. Scouts with their Sergeant, of course, getting away. Lictor Alpha has Flesh Hooked already, I imagine. Takes a bunch of damage from the double tax, and Force Commander's in. No, backs off. Should be in on the Warrior Brood there. Destructor coming from downtown, thanks to Machine Elf's Warlock. That's his starting ability. Well, one of them. He can also fleet to move faster. 2v1 against Adinosaurusrex there a little bit. But they get away okay. Meanwhile, in the mid, someone else seems to be rotating mid kind of permanently here. Blue team have that contested eastern power. Kicking off though in the mid on his other contested power. Raptors jumping in, suppressing on landing with that cacophony effect. Warlock barely gets away. Shuriken barely gets away. Guardians, I thought maybe they were looking for a grenade, but they don't have battle equipment. They got the Shuriken. I'm not sure why it was still in play there. Machine Elf keeping some stuff in play too long here. We've seen the Banshees go down. Now the Shuriken goes down. They do have another one. 452 to 459 on the VPs. 2-1 for the blue team. That was a shuriken I saw go explode, right? Pretty sure it was. I didn't realize Machine Elf had 2 of them. But they're getting another. Devastator's on the way for Desked. Double Warrior Brood for Adinosaurus-rex. This used to be kind of popular back in retail days. In 2v2s and team games anyway. Used to be double Barb Strangler Warrior Broods. They're keeping one in melee for now. Most likely to get the melee synapse going in tier 2 for those double Hormagaunts. Noise Marines on the field for someone else. Capping up the Eastern Power. Having bashed the node, I guess, Warboss is smacking on some gens to relieve some of his tension. Gotta relieve some of it. He's got spiky armor up. Some good health regen and damage to nearby enemies when he gets hit in melee. Often combined with the angry bits to charge in, kind of force stuff to engage you. Double shuriken setting up in a chain. Warboss is on the back one though. And here come a bunch of Tyranids. Machine Elf going to get flanked pretty hard. That passive leap into combat from the Warrior Brood can set up fights for you quite nicely. Are they going to get this guarding weapon team here? Warboss can't quite get the last hit. It was a really nicely timed stomp to almost finish him off there. Warlocks in melee. Trying to get out of the little group here before they retreat so they don't take a bunch of retreat hits, but maybe it would have been better just to retreat. There we go. They get away. Shuriken comes to the aid again. Barb Strangler Warrior Brood keeping these Guardians locked down. They do have battle equipment, so they're exponentially more dangerous when they have that grenade. Nice grenade there. We saw on retreating Warrior Brood. A couple of good ones so far from Desked. Tier 2 for Machine Elf. Whirlwind on the way for IskNorthen in Tier 2. Gomer Pyle will be the last player to tech up, and they are floating resources here up to 150 power. Fully upgraded their Tier 1 squads as much as they could and got that spiky armor in. That's where all their power went. Sluggers have caught the Force Commander. Oh, but a Shuriken again comes into play. And big battle cry buffs and all this stuff from the Force Commander, just popping it there. East side, power bash from someone else using the Sonic Blaster to very quickly take down these generators. Raptors should be jumping here, I think. Double Kraken Bolts, Tactical Marines from IskNorthen, pumping out a lot of anti-heavy infantry damage. Noise Marines barely got away. Kraken Bolts gives them 20% more damage versus heavy infantry, and it does function for melee attacks as well. Chaos Lord flees back to the mid. Shuriken continues to do work, shutting down the Shooterboids, and they have to flee. West side now. Hormagaunts with adrenal glands in amongst Tax, and they will rip them up pretty good with that upgrade. Took a model off him. Other fellas are fine though. Force Corner levels to what? To 3. Doing well. Dreadnought on the way for Desked. Warlock is still level 1. Witchblade of Kernus on the way though. Level 2 Techmarine got a level 1 Lictor Alpha. Deadly Jump on the way. Can get in amongst those double attacks with a jump. Level 2 Warboss and a level 1 Chaos Lord. Gonna need some anti-vehicle then, Mr. Adinosaurus-rex. Gonna get some Venom brewed up maybe to combat that Dreadnought. Here's the Warlock with his Witchblade of Kernus. His fancy little sword there. Almost 72 power melee DPS with the Ethereal Slash, which is amazing. Can really mince units, that thing. 410 to 426. Warboss going for a trophy rack now. This is a passive area of effect damage debuff to nearby enemies. Very nice to have. Double shurikens up for Machine Elf. There's the deadly jump though from the Lictor Alpha. The grenade doesn't quite hit. Nice idea though. That shuriken might be done for. Hormagaunts are on it. And they do get it. You have a Chaos Dreadnought now for someone else in its default state with the autocannon putting some damage on the Royalist Space Marine Dreadnought, which starts off as a melee unit. Just use the Emperor's Fist on this Adrenal Gland Warrior Brood, so they have heavy melee weapons now. Red team massing up here. Meanwhile, Scouts decapping the eastern wreck point there. Force Commander grabs the VP. Lictor Alpha is on some Stern Guard veterans. Here comes the Dreadnought. Get some smacks in on the Warrior Brood. Kicking off in the mid though. Wraith Guard in play for Machine Elf. They only have 3 units on the field. And they got caught on a corner there. Witchblade of Kernus comes in to save them. Raptors with their aspiring champion. Gonna get a heavy melee Demon Maul. You see him at the top of that little group there. Warlock needs to run. Might be worth him getting a champion's robe up so he gets a bit more sticky in combat, not as easy to force off. Chaos Dreadnought is so far forward here. Got double plasma attacks, no, double missile launch attacks now for IskNorthen, using the Tactical Marine's ability to change their specialized weapon as long as you pay for each time. Don't know if they can't get the Dreadnought down, but they sure forced it back. Tank busters on the field for Gomer Pyle. The last remaining Shuriken of Machine Elf helps to defend the power. Didn't get all of it at least, need to renode it though. Triple cap for blue team. Doing some good VP work. Scouts getting a cap there for IskNorthen. Very sneaky. Dreadnought did get a bit of XP, getting some repairs now from Scouts. Tier 3 for adinosaurusrex and for Gomer Pyle. They kind of skipped their tier 2s a bit, although we did see tank busters for Gomer Pyle. No tier 2 units at all for adinosaurusrex. We did see adrenal glands, which is a tier 2 upgrade. Lictor Alpha is down. In a tricky place to revive, probably. Unless they're going to get a clean sweep on that side and then revive him. Guardians with their Warlock buddy. Buffs the unit with some defensive stuff and has Embolden. Hellfire rounds loaded in for Stern Guard. Effective versus light infantry and heroes, doing damage over time. They want to swap to Kraken Bolts to shoot up the Warrior Brood though. Still blue on the west side. Adinosaurus I think is going to at least get a decap. Back towards the mid. Whirlwind is still around. And we still have double missile launch attacks here for IskNorthen. Orks having a poke. Got some Wraith Guard to deal with now. Maybe the Sluggers can get on them. Really nice ground targeting there, I think, from Machine Elf to hit those Sluggers. Because the Wraith Cannons do have a wind-up plan. So if you're moving, you can often avoid getting hit. Sluggers barely making it away. And they had user choppers on them, so the Warboss used some red to make those guys more dangerous. I don't think they were able to get a single attack in, maybe 1 or 2. Chaos Dreadnought's back with some repairs. Tank Buster Barrage. Good damage burst and some disruption. Warlock falls over. Wraith Guard get away. Well, IskNorthen might need to back off here. We do have a Bright Lance. Warboss getting in around the back though, with a Bang Bang Hammer now to buff surrounding allies on hit. Should be able to get the Warlock from there, I think. Looks like the Lictor Alpha's back to their feet as well. There's a stomp from the Warboss. Raptors jumping in on the Bright Lance. Can they get it? It's been a bad day for Guardian weapon teams, it seems. Having a rough time out there. 362 to 278 on the VPs. Tier 3 for IskNorthen. Gomer Pyle with a Nob squad on the way. And looking quite dangerous are the red team all of a sudden. Machine Elf down to 2 units. And with the Nob squad up, I mean, what the heck are they going to do against that? They have Ethereal Slash, I suppose, if the Warlock's up. No Son of War gear for the Force Commander, so maybe they'll get the Thunder Hammer, or even perhaps Terminator Armor with the Lightning Claws, and Desk can get their own Terminators up right now if they wanted Lightning Claw Terminators maybe. Perhaps when they see the Nob squad that'll force their hand to get some. Huge Hammers immediately up for the Nob squad. Usually something you see purchased last, I think. Seer Council coming in for Machine Elf. Those guys will help against the Nob squad. Disruption and huge amounts of power melee damage is always helpful. Carnifex on the way for adinosaurusrex. And blue team still have the west side. Looks like Tyranids are on it now though. Bit of a lull in the action. Should red team be applying more pressure here? Someone else is kind of hanging back. Got some Eternal War CSM kicking off west side. There's your Dreadnought. I wonder if that suggests we're going to see a Venom Cannon Carnifex, or if they'll just get thorn back or something to go and smack it. Full power bash from the Orks. Machine Elf and IskNorthen slow to respond. Did see the Thorax Swarm Electro Shock grabs on the Dreadnought there. Force wanted to fall over. Big flank from the Orks. Can they do some work here? Retreating Tactical Marines trying to get into the path of them. They've got upgraded sluggers and I think yeah, fully upgraded Nob Squad. No, they're not fully upgraded. They don't have Mina and Greener yet. They have their Nob Leader and they have the Hammers, but they don't have Mina and Greener. Which is important for the Nob Squad. Seer Council getting stuck in. Gonna get the Warboss down, maybe? Maybe not. It's got that decent health regen. Big retreat from the Orks. Can the blue team push off this? Carnifex is up, and it did indeed go for Thornback, adinosaurusrex. 359 to 247. Whirlwind trying to disrupt things. Seer Council providing a really helpful ranged damage resistance aura. All that stuff with the blue there is in range, as you can see. The double tax. Double tax with range resistance, pretty powerful. Dreadnought's going after the Carnifex, which charges through its own units. And I think killed a bunch of them there to get away, but it does get away. Someone else now pushing. Fluoromid. Raptors jumping on the Wraith Guard. Wraith Guard are super vulnerable to melee. Now it's Heretics on them, and Raptors go for the Seer Council. That's a bad fight for the Raptors. Seer Council will tear them apart, especially with the support they have there. This is a Predator tank from IskNorthen. Can the blue team stabilize this west side now? All came from that big Ork retreat. Gomer Pyle going for that big flank. Didn't quite work out. Back on the field now, though, and maybe someone else should have been a bit more careful about pushing without the Ork on the field. The Raptors got away, though. Land Raider Phobos on the way for someone else. Carnifex healing up. Got a D cannon for Machine Elf, most likely going to the contested victory point there to singularity the crap out of stuff. Got some tax kind of awkwardly behind a little bit of cover from certain angles. Should just use the sandbags here, fellas. Lictor Alpha being sneaky. Nothing can spot him here, because Desked and IskNorthen lost all their scouts. Meanwhile, east side kicking off. Ethereal Slash we got to see. Friendly fire, I think. That missile launcher hit the tank. Looked like it did. 325 to 230. Seer Council chopping up some shooter boys. Double Heretics thought about going in, and then they saw the Wraith Guard spooling up their Wraith Cannons. They have their Wraith Bone upgraded for the self-heal. Wraith Cannons are very, very bad for Heretics all bunched up like that. Done an amazing job to keep these guys nice and healthy, actually. No upgrades on those fellas at all. Default Heretics surviving into Tier 3. Double Default Heretics surviving into Tier 3. What a hero. That Chaos Lord really cares about his cultists. Nob Squad bashing power. And yes, they do get momentum off smacking on generators. I don't care what they're smacking. We have a Terminator Force Commander here. But we don't have Terminators. They have a Land Raider Redeemer, though. That's pretty damn good. Acts as a retreat point for your allies so they can reinforce off it and get some health regen. Got some powerful close range weaponry and that twin-linked assault cannon as well. Dreadnought gets a big Emperor's Fist. Phobos going after the Land Raider Redeemer with those big old las cannons. Giving it a good go. Dirgecaster coming in as well. Good usage of the Phobos there. Doesn't want to be too far up for too long though. Trying to get the Dreadnought down, does get it done. Carnifex now goes after that Land Raider. Meanwhile, towards the mid, Warlock says hello to Commandos. Warboss levels to 4, just kicking some Seer Council over there. Red team have the west side, 320 to 183. Some nukes available, perhaps. Desk certainly has one. Machine Elf almost has one. Another tank on the way for IskNorthen. The second Carnifex for adinosaurusrex goes for Venom Cannon. Help take down these vehicle targets. What level are you, Mr. Techmarine? Level 3. Fire Prism went away from Machine Elf as well. Can help get back the west side and hold it with some disruption. We've got a Marco Zinch, Chaos Dreadnought. Someone else has done an amazing job preserving their army so far. Don't think they've lost anything. The only player to not lose anything, I think, although I'm not sure if Gomer Pyle has lost any units either. There's a singularity, everything moved away from it. Terminators, I think, from Desk. Yes, it is. Assault Terminators coming in. These guys unique to the Force Commander start with Thunderhammers and Storm Shields. Heavy melee damage. Massive bucket of hit points. And they can upgrade to Lightning Claws, making them a terrifying proposition for any infantry around. But the Thunderhammers are really good as well. Extra durability and heavy melee damage is great to have. Shooter boys with Ard boys on them. Get the cap. Well played, Gomer Pyle. Don't know if they would have got the cap without it. 2-1 now for red. Nob Squad continues to bash power. Now they're going after a tank. Frenzy is popped. 75% damage resist and immunity to suppression for 8 seconds or so. User choppers going in as well. Gives them a melee damage buff and a melee skill buff. And they are wrecking the Seer Council with it. Even with all this support. Including double Truck and Bolt Tactical Marines, and Nob Squad are heavy infantry. Although they do have missile launchers, which is not ideal to fight a Nob Squad. Ethereal Slash is a good hit. Gets the Nob Squad to leave. That was a hell of a hit. Did a ton of damage. They were right next to him. And I think Ethereal Slash, it kind of hits multiple times as it spreads out. So if you're really close and you get hit by all the bursts of damage. What is that? That's a really well-timed Eldritch Storm. But the Orcs spotted it. Gomer Pyle was live to it. Big pressure from the red team. Got to be careful not to overextend. Both tanks still alive for IskNorthen. Where are the Assault Terminators? Oh, they're on the west side. Blue team got the west side back. No weapon upgrade for the Terminator Force Commander yet, but he starts with pretty damn good weapons. A Storm Bolter, which is like 40 odd DPS, I believe, and an 85 DPS Power Fist. Pretty awesome. Fire Prism trying to stay at maximum range, bottom of your screen there. Getting some repairs meanwhile. Oh, must be getting some Blessing of the Omnissiah repairs from the global bar of the Techmarine. Raptors jumping in. Assault Terminators say hello, and now they go after the Phobos. There's the Dirge Caster though. Big stun and the damage debuff. Damage debuffs persists for 10 or 15 seconds or so. They got the Carnifex. Blue team break out and hit back hard. Tanks giving chase. Can they get the Phobos down? What is this? More Terminators? Venerable Dreadnought, I think, from IskNorthen. Yeah. Unique to the Techmarine. Big bucket hit points, can charge as well. Needs to be careful though. Getting too close to Marco Zinch Dreadnought, Phobos and Tank Busters. It might go down immediately here. 250 to 146. Charge away, buddy, charge away. There's the charge. Ah, they still got him. I don't think the Venerable Dreadnought even got to hit anything. That's Stoicism up, which gives it constant inspiration and more damage, but down it goes. 250 to 142. Awesome fight. Meanwhile, Warlock being very cheeky. Gets a decap, almost a cap. Knocked over by Warrior Brood. Chaos Lord is here, but he's not interested apparently. Lightning Claws, Arm of the Inferno, and Demonic Visage for the debuffs on hit. Debuffs of enemies on hit, of course. Kind of like the Warboss's trophy rack, but you need to smack people to activate it. But it's a slightly more debuff, or slightly more radius maybe. I wonder if they stack together, the Warboss's trophy rack and Demonic Visage. I wonder. Chaos Dreadnought gets repairs. Bit of a breather here for the players and for me. Wraithguard grabbing the cap. 2 tanks still up for IskNorthen. They have a fully mechanized army now, basically. Still that mastercrafted bolter, which continues to be useful. Get a suppression on Nob Squad, force them to use frenzy early, that kind of thing. I can blind, says someone else, that he's referring to malignant blindness. One of his global abilities. They're going for the Western VP, I guess. Gomer Pyle has gone right in alone. Someone else asking him to wait. I guess Orks don't wait. Hard boys up on the Nob Squad. And they bought some space for the cap there. Is malignant blindness in? I don't think it is. Big fight on the west side. Double Carnifex is there. One of them with a Stranglethorn? No, that's the Barbed Strangler I'm seeing. It's a Thorn back and a Venom Cannon Carnifex still. Imperial Abyss from someone else. Oh, it's a good hit. Tax just walking through it, getting minced. Red team got the west side. Just a brutal, swift push from the Orks and Chaos there. The best factions to do that kind of thing. Just right in your face, no messing, no subtlety, just run at you and do damage. Warlock flees. I don't think they're going to make it though. Down they go. 233 to 115 on the VPs. Terminator Force Corner heals up. Continues to have no specialized weapon. Triple Carnifexes now for Adinosaurusrex. There is that D-cannon back at base at the moment, I guess. Uh-oh. Double las cannon tanks on the Carnifex. Tries to charge out, which he can do with the Thornback upgrade, and might have made it. I think it's far enough away. Commando's retreating. Level 3 Commando's retreating. We got some Chaos Shrines going up for someone else, thanks to these amazingly still alive heretics. Well done, this Chaos Lord. These shrines are gonna spawn bloodletters like that. Also provide a damage buff, a stacking damage buff for someone else's units. This is a yellow buff you see here. I think it's 10% per shrine, which is pretty amazing for a permanent buff. We're getting the bloodletters as well, of course, and they're being worshipped, which means the bloodletters spawn more often. I feel like maybe the buff should get a little bit better when you worship them, maybe. Just a little bump up to 12% or something. A little bit of a buff. Chaos Lord level 3, not getting involved yet. Blastmaster doing some good work though. Big fight on this west side. Did the Galaxy burn? Didn't seem to hit too much there. Assault Terminators in on the Phobos. Phobos goes down. Can they get one of the tanks with Melter Gun Raptors? Melter Gun Raptors are meleeing it here because they're being tied up. I think they did get the tank, but the Raptors died. Orbital in the back. Oh, that's a pretty good orbital. That was quite bad for someone else, I think. Oh, they still have double Dreadnoughts somewhere. Where are they? One's back there with Marco Zine, so I don't know where the other one is. Avatar of Cain now joins the fight. Land Raider Redeemer stood around. Nob Squad going after it though. Use your choppers up on them as well. And they've got full momentum. Look at the damage each swing is doing to this Land Raider. That is crazy. This thing's got 2,500 hit points in that bar. Nob Squad get it done. Can they get away though? I think so. Maybe. That's going to be close. I mean, they still have 200 hit points on that model. I think they're alright. Almost level 3. Someone else is now down to a single Chaos Dreadnought. Had a rough time. Gomer Power down to 3 units. IskNorthen down to double tanks, and that's it. Adinosaurusrex, though, with triple Carnifexes still. Thornback, Venom Cannon, Thornback. That's pretty cool. So Gomer Pyle and someone else did an amazing job up to now, preserving their armies. I mean, someone else got hit with a nuke. Sometimes you just can't do much about that. Maybe he could have spotted it early and got those guys out there, but sometimes it's really rough to do. 107 to 115 on the VPs, 1-to-1 cap. We'll get 2 tanks, says someone else. They're referring to Chaos Predators. One's on the way here. Force Commander using teleport to get on the VP. Warboss is an appy. Level 4. Kicks him. Doesn't buff himself with the bang bang hammer, it's important to note. He's got such cool attack animations, the Warboss. Really makes him seem weighty. Terminator Force Commander, I think, gets away. Yeah, where was the Lictor with the flesh hook when he needed him? Oh, he's down. Level 4 Chaos Lord. The second Chaos Predator is indeed on the way. Here's the first one. He can give these things marks to improve their stats and abilities, but no sign of one yet. It's still a solid tank without a mark. Got some Mark of Tzeentch CSM coming in level 3. Can these triple Carnifexes get things done? Avatar of Cain is here with a Wading Doom coming in. Decent hit on the Orc stuff. Tank's getting good shots on the Carnifexes too. And that Chaos Dreadnought is very low on hit points. Gonna need some Heretics to support those vehicles, I think. There's nothing else on the field that can... There's nothing in the field that can repair for the red team. Carnifex is pushing quite hard here, the two Thornbacks. Warrior Brood getting in, getting some good damage. Are they level 4? Level 3. Venom Cannon trying to get shots in as well, of course. There's Blessing of the Omnissiah healing again, or rather repairing those vehicles. Another Predator tank for IskNorthen. We've got a Mark of Tzeentch Predator here with the las cannons, twin-linked las cannon. The other one also Mark of Tzeentch, but it's not moving right now. So Terminator is going for the Thornback. Needs to charge away through their own commandos, but I think it made it. I think it made it. Frenzied Barrage doing some good work against that Predator. One more volley is not enough though, and the Dreadnought goes down. Someone else dropping the tank as well. Imperial Abyss, 90 to 58, 2-to-1 cap for blue. I think they've got this. I think they've done enough damage to the Orc player and the Chaos player. Adinosaurusrex still very dangerous with triple Carnifexes, but they need to go back to base to heal up now. And red team are on the cap again. IskNorthen saying that mass repair is almost ready again. Not sure what the cooldown is on it, but it's very useful as you've seen. Commandos barely making it out. More commandos on the way. I mean, it's a pretty good way to recover is to get a bunch of commandos. They can do a hell of a lot for you. But are they going to have time? 78 to 58, 20 VPs in it. So the Council is getting rid of some Chaos Space Marines. Shooter Boys are dying. I wonder if they're just freeing up population here, because those Shooter Boys aren't doing much right now. Just freeing up some upkeep to get more requisition in per minute. I'll leave Warriors to guard VP, says Adinosaurusrex, this one here, which was decapped by a sneaky Techmarine getting in there, level 7. Zoanthrope in play for Adinosaurusrex, gets to Symbiosis, which allows it to heal Carnifexes. Pretty well, heal Tyranid units in general, I think. Yeah, 25% of their max health, but it's really useful against Carnifexes. Another Chaos Predator on the way. Plasma Cannon for IskNorthen, that's a good shout. Do the red team have time to get another push in? Oh, they don't need to, they've gone mid. They hit the mid pretty fast. Blue team leaving it completely undefended. Gonna be a 2-to-1 for red. Not sure how long for commandos with the faster capping trait. Nob Squad getting Ethereal Slash. They're still only level 2, these guys, you know. Last Master with some friendly fire on the Warboss. Chaos Lords, Lightning Claws going after the Seer Council. Warboss falls and more friendly fire on the Nob Squad that time, but I think they were already retreating. Triple las cannon tanks doing some work. Techmarine on the VP now. 63 to 20. Love the backer on the Seer Council. A level 4 Seer Council, by the way. They've done really well. West side kicking off, I think. Indeed it is. Carnifexes trying to do some work. One of the Thornbacks having to charge out. And his Assault Terminators have been really solid, as you'd expect. Just dig in. And so hard to kill. Right Lance in play now. Couldn't do much though, I don't think. Maybe they should be going after the Tactical Marines rather than the Terminators. It's very easy to get dragged into Terminators though. Double cap for blue team gets them the victory at the end. GG indeed. And yes, Indrid did indeed receive the game. IskNorthen, don't worry about that. Terminator Force Commander can't level up because he's a weirdo. Warlock level 6. Witchblade of Kurnus, Cloak of Shadows, and Channeling Runes at the end. Level 9 Techmarine. Shot a hell of a lot of stuff with this mastercrafted bolt array. Lictor Alpha level 2. We often see this from Lictor Alphas. They can struggle to make an impact in a 3v3, struggle to level up and stuff. But I think Deadly Jump makes them kind of always useful. Warboss level 4 and down with his big old hammer, and a level 4 Chaos Lord right there next to the Warboss. Big fella's taking a nap. Well, there you have it, guys. It was an awesome game, I think. Thank you for watching. Hope you all enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time.